I woke up one morning and I realized, finally, that it was time to move. Time to move from where we are, to take my family with me, and to follow the many dreams, and to listen to the many messages that I was receiving. One of them was to go and help a rural community of South Africa, teach everyone there the 7 universal laws that Hashem, that God commanded for everybody to follow at Mount Sinai. I was told I'd be sent to a community, to a school, and together with the pupils and the teachers of that school, we would welcome the dawn of the Noahide nation. Something also told me that we were going to receive more money than I'd ever received in my entire life. However, the money wasn't for me, and we would do something really, really big with the money we would receive. When I first walked into Bizimali High, I knew then that I had arrived. I went back home and I started planning to build a new school, and more importantly, planning to build a youth village for the 1100 students that really stayed in terrible conditions. At the same time, we would help to create employment for the almost 90% of parents of households in the area who are currently unemployed, and to teach the students, the teachers and the parents to learn and to live by the 7 laws of Noah. This was my reason. My purpose was to make sure that many, many other people around the world, just like you watching this video, could have the same opportunity to make a positive difference in so many people's lives and in so many ways. So here I am. I invite you to be part of our journey, to help us in whichever way possible. Every dollar that you contribute helps. Every time that you take the time to spread this message and to send it as far and as wide as possible to as many people as possible helps in so many ways. Thank you for helping. Thank you for donating. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for your acts of goodness and kindness. God bless you.
pastor of Bizimali High School. He's taking us through that journey.
The old buildings of the nearby primary school with only the roof, and there was no door or any entrance because we could use any part of the wall as the entrance. We had to sweep the floors every morning, removing the goat dung and cattle dung. At times the people's dung.
Sure.
Yeah, we did this. I must appreciate the fact that when I came here, the community had taken an initiative in looking for the donor. Mine was to kick the goal, was to score the goal. Use my leadership skill to organize, to mount pressure on that organization which had donated funds to rebuild the school. The contractor was appointed and the school was of course rebuilt, beginning with 7 classrooms. The senior grade at that time was grade 10 and I had about 5 teachers and I was the 6th teacher. And on the first day I came here, I worked very hard, much to the great surprise of all teachers and the community, because the school, I remember, ended at 3:30. Before I came, I was told that the school would end any time of the day, depending on the feelings of the teachers, and of course of the weather conditions. There was no leadership, no one to give direction. And then, with my only 5 teachers, and remember, the inspectors of school at that time mounted pressure on me to fire those 5 teachers because they had been part of the previous principal. So they had contributed together with that principal towards the downfall of the school. So the advisor at that time must fire them, appoint new teachers and rebuild the school, which I refused totally to do. I just sat with those teachers, inspired them, and together we rebuilt the school. And we moved forward. The school was rebuilt. By the end of the year, it was finished, 1995. Beginning of 1996, around February, March, we entered into our new classrooms, 7 of them. And we used only 4 classrooms, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10 as the senior grade, and 1 classroom was used as our staff room. Ever since I came here, I have never enjoyed the comfort of running the school from my own office. I just sit with teachers, even now, even today. It has helped me a lot. Inculcated in me humbleness, spirit of working with people, being exemplary, demonstrating everything I want to do to them. I've never appeared to them as a boss. I believe there is a book I read a lot. It's written, even in the American context, by, I think it's Van and Starrett. It's titled Supervision. It came up with a model of managing the school, whereby the principal would work together with teachers, plan together in the lessons. It promoted collaborative teaching, and that book inspired me a lot. Yes, I hope I'm speaking to Abraham Frank. Thank you so much, sir, for calling. Thank you so much for calling. We like it so much, sir. We will come to the idea of the moment of silence. We hope it will pay great dividends. And for our children also. Yes.
This video.
Yes, we embrace the idea of the moment of silence. We hope it will give us great benefits. Yes. For us as teachers and for our learners as well. Yes. I'm saying it will pay great dividends and benefits for us as teachers and as well as our learners. In 1996, at the end of 96, I applied for grade 11 for the school to be extended to grade 11 because I realized that the dropout rate was a little bit high at the end of grade 10 due to poverty. Learners would not go to further schools because they wouldn't afford to go there and stay around those further schools. So the best thing would be to increase classes at this school up to grade 12. So that is why in 1997 and 98 I introduced grade 11 and 12 respectively. And in 1998 we offered our first matric results. They moved the country. I had only 31 matriculants at the time, with only 2 streams, the science and the humanities. We were only 2 qualified teachers at the time. I think we were 3. Yes. And we took to ourselves the task of teaching grade 11 and 12. Taking many subjects. I was teaching maths at the time, English, history, and biology. And managing the school. Our learners, I think they passed, all of them passed. And it was fantastic, with quality results. I remember that I produced 2 things. Score the goal. Use my leadership skill to organize, to mount pressure on that organization which had donated funds to rebuild the school. The contractor was appointed and the school was of course rebuilt, beginning with 7 classrooms. The senior grade at that time was grade 10 and I had about 5 teachers and I was the 6th teacher. And on the first day I came here, I worked very hard, much to the great surprise of all teachers and the community, because the school, I remember, ended at 3:30. Before I came, I was told that the school would end any time of the day, depending on the feelings of the teachers, and of course of the weather conditions. There was no leadership, no one to give direction. And then, with my only 5 teachers, and remember the inspectors of school at that time mounted pressure on me to fire those 5 teachers because they had been part of the previous principal. So they had contributed together with that principal towards the downfall of the school. So the advisor at that time must fire them, appoint new teachers and rebuild the school, which I refused totally to do. I just sat with those teachers, inspired them, and together we rebuilt the school. And we moved forward. The school was rebuilt. By the end of the year, it was finished, 1995. Beginning of 1996, around February, March, we entered into our new classrooms, 7 of them. And we used only 4 classrooms, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10 as the senior grade, and 1 classroom was used as our staff room. Ever since I came here, I have never enjoyed the comfort of running the school from my own office. I just sit with teachers, even now, even today. It has helped me a lot, inculcated in me humbleness, spirit of working with people, being exemplary, demonstrating everything I want to do to them. I've never appeared to them as a boss. I believe there is a book I read a lot. It's written even in the American context by, I think it's Giovanni and Starrett. It's titled Supervision. It came up with a model of managing the school whereby the principal would work together with teachers, plan together even the lessons. It promoted collaborative teaching, and that book inspired me a lot. 1996, at the end of 96, I applied for grade 11 for the school to be extended to grade 11, because I realized that the dropout rate was a little bit high at the end of grade 10 due to poverty. Learners would not go to further schools because they wouldn't afford to go there and stay around those further schools. So the best thing would be to improve classes, increase classes at these schools up to grade 12. So that is why in 1997 and 98 I introduced grade 11 and 12 respectively. And in 1998 we offered our first matric results. They moved the country. I had only 31 matriculants at the time, with only 2 streams, the science and the humanities. We were only 2 qualified teachers at the time. I think we were 3. We were 3, yes. And we took to ourselves the task of teaching grade 11 and 12, taking many subjects. I was teaching maths at the time, English, history and biology, and managing the school. Our learners, I think they passed, all of them passed, and that was fantastic, with quality results. I remember I produced 2 distinctions in maths, something that was still very unusual in our circuit at the time. One of those learners, I remember, he went overseas to study as a doctor in Cuba, and one went to vets. There was a vets technicum at the time. I think it's part of UJ now.
Yes.
Yeah. So the very first results we attained in 1998 taught me that our kids are from a deeply rural area. They don't know how to get to town, how to get to universities. They were born and bred in this area. They've never seen a robot. So I thought it would be a futile exercise to produce good matric results. And then as the principal or as a school, we would sit back and relax without making sure what happened to the people we produce. So at that time I started what I called a school tertiary program, whereby on matriculation I will personally accompany my children to various institutions. I started the work of working with the deans of faculties, heads of schools at university. They will tell me more about each and every requirement in each and every faculty, so that when I return to school, I will teach with the understanding of what is required from our learners at tertiary.
I've seen the brilliant results from the school, so my parents sent me. Actually, it's not just my parents who sent me. I loved learning in the school because I saw the great results. You know, but it's not that accommodative, but the results are good. There's no enough learning materials there, but yeah.
So now, because I've heard several people saying that the resources are not enough. Yeah, as you said, there's not enough material, but you still get like a high pass rate. My question is, maybe what contributes to that? Is it the determination from you guys, or is it the method of teaching from your teachers? Is it determination or the method, or both, basically?
I'd say it's the commitment of teachers. Yeah, the teachers are giving themselves an extra time to give us extra lessons. As from now, as you can see right now, that night, but we continue giving us extra hours. So we have more than enough time to learn.
Okay. One of my, I think it's the second last question. As we human beings, we don't just survive on tangible things. We also have the spiritual side of our beings, because we all flesh and blood, but we do have spirit, so we do need spiritual regeneration. So my question is, your school is what we see here. Less resources, falling apart, less material, everything is just less. So you are against the odds, but yet you do manage to get a high pass rate. Don't you think maybe the element of God, or God himself, has something to do with it? Because now, comparing with other schools that have everything in Durban, Cape Town, Joburg, and then you guys are studying in this heat, it's 40 degrees Celsius today, but you're still here, I'm sweating. So don't you think there's an element of God into it?
What are you looking for this school to achieve right now?
Yeah, it's for the school to have adequate classrooms and special classrooms and boarding hostels. Because what I do now is that I have to go out all these families that accommodate learners and manage there. It's challenging because I have to go there and look into the way people live. But if they were accommodated in a hostel within the school premises, it would be much more easy for me to.
And accommodation right now for these learners is not quite adequate either, which we've seen.
It's terrible. Our learners are congested like lifeless objects in those classrooms. I mean, in those houses, and they are overcrowded in their houses as well as in the classrooms. Because the school the reputation of the school has attracted learners from all over the country, not only the KwaZulu-Natal, but from other provinces as well. About 90% of our learners are coming from other provinces.
Currently, how many students have you got in the school?
I've got 1,407.
1,407.
We have tried to limit that due to the pressure mounted on us by the department.
And am I correct in
if it wasn't for that, the enrollment would be about 5,000.
Okay. So really what we're looking at doing is we're looking at building a student village to have the students in appropriate and reasonable accommodation. You've received donation of the land, sufficient land.
Yes.
And all we need now is people to assist us.
Yes.
We'd like to have a look at agricultural projects and various other projects, also to help with the other subjects that you've got in the school.
Yes, yes.
As well as to start creating jobs for the many unemployed in the area.
Yes.
Which will stabilize it.
That's it, sir. That will be appreciated, because the unemployment rate and our situational analysis has revealed that about 90% of the families are headed by parents who are unemployed.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
So in front of you, you have a book which is the Divine Code.
Yes.
It talks about the 7 laws of power.
Yes.
And we've taken upon the school to not only yourself but your brother, who's an ordained minister.
Yes.
To start following.
I'm also an ordained preacher.
Ah, I didn't know.
Yes.
to take the 7 laws of Noah, introduce it and teach it to all the students. Am I correct in saying that from next year you'll be adding it into the curriculum with the studies?
What?
You'll add it to teach to the kids next year, the 7 laws of Noah.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And to introduce the 7 laws of Noah, as well as you spoke last night to Avram Frank in New York. And we took it upon ourselves, yourself and myself, to introduce a moment of silence when the school starts next year, which will have great benefit. My purpose was to make sure that many, many other people around the world, just like you watching this video, could have the same opportunity to make a positive difference in so many people's lives and in so many ways. So here I am. I invite you to be part of our journey, to help us in whichever way possible. Every dollar that you contribute helps. Every time that you take the time to spread this message and to send it as far and as wide as possible to as many people as possible helps in so many ways. Thank you for helping. Thank you for donating. Thank you for contributing. And thank you for your acts of goodness and kindness. God bless you. So, having a look now at almost a pledge to say that you will now start introducing Noachide laws and the moment of silence with Avram Frank. We experienced last night something for me which was the most unbelievable experience. The singing of Oseh Shalom in a foreign language, in Hebrew. And many of the kids I saw writing down Oseh Shalom. And I'm quite sure they'll be singing it at home. But I was moved, and I just wanted to hear your thoughts, your experience last night amongst the 30 odd people who Avram Frank said, wow, he said it sounded like 300 people, not 30 people. They were singing with so much zest.
Yeah, I was surprised actually to see my learners coping with the singing in foreign language and the enthusiasm with which they sang the song and the excitement.
Absolutely.
The willingness to learn. It was actually amazing. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to a good year ahead with 1,400 Noachides, maybe more. I'm looking forward to getting the school the accommodation that they require, building the student villages, bringing tourism into the country. There's a tourism class being taught, but no facilities.
Yes.
There's a cooking course.
Yes.
And no facilities.
Technological subjects.
technological subjects and no facilities. You've got people that are committed to Hashem, committed to God, committed to learning Sheva Mitzvah B'nai Noach, the 7 laws of Noah, building up the communities, not only here, but as you say, the kids come from all over the country. You take it back with them to teach their friends. And to me, this is the beginning of building up a combination of educational, agricultural, aquacultural, fish farming, tourism. You've got the most beautiful mountains, the most beautiful fertile land down where you stay, and dedication and commitment that I've yet to see in many. So with those, with those traits, I believe that we can really build something. What we're looking for is the support from all the communities across the board, Jewish, Noachides, to stand together and to come and give us not only the financial assistance, but to come and bring their hands and help us build together and to sing together and say Shalom Bimromav. Let's bring peace to the community, to the country, to the world. And for me, it's been an unbelievable experience. It's humbled me to see the kids learning by candlelight, 11 o'clock at night. I had the most beautiful braai. For those who don't understand braai, it's a barbecue.
We've been studying by candlelight since 1995.
And please God, with the blessings of Hashem, with the blessings of God, and your assistance and the assistance of the communities from around the world, where you'll be watching this video and be as inspired as I was, that we stop talking and we start helping, building up Noachides and building up Bizimali, student village, the agricultural centers, help the students, help the teachers, give the teachers a comfortable environment, and please God, with your dedication and our assistance,
thank you so much.
We will build it together with
So
the absolute help of Hashem and the blessing of God. And we saw that last night with the rain this morning, and decent weather for the kids to be able to write the exams. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shalom, shalom.